14 impressive facts that make the series Masters of the Air a must-watch war drama right now. Number 1. They shot the airplane scenes in fake B-17 bombers using a special tech called the volume. These fake planes were hung 50 feet up in the air on a device that could tilt and turn them in all directions. They're inside a huge room with LED screens all around and on the ceiling. This setup lets the actors see and react to things like explosions and other planes flying around, just like in real life, while the device they were on moved according to what was happening in the scene. Number 2. 3 B-17 replicas were built from scratch for filming use. 2 were exact replicas, and the other was slightly larger to allow more room for the camera crew to film certain angles of the plane. Number 3. The 100 bomb group became known as the Bloody 100 due to the heavy volume of losses it incurred in combat missions and minute percentage of survival. Number 4. Before filming, the cast bonded during a 2-week boot camp run by former U.S. Marine Dale Dye, a Vietnam veteran who also advised on Band of Brothers in the Pacific. The learning was holistic and included classroom sessions to hear more about World War II. Actors also called each other by their character names and rank during the boot camp to condition them to the military hierarchy. Number 5. Some of the 100th Bomb Group veterans who attended the Masters of the Air premiere said they were holding on and living just to be able to watch the series. John Lucky Lookadoo, one of the last living members of the group, said at the premiere, watching Masters of the Air made him feel like he had just flown another mission. Number 6. The series was logistically a huge undertaking with over 3,000 crew working on the 9 episodes. Steven Spielberg has said this is the biggest project he's worked on. Number 7. Sometimes the cast filming in the replica B-17s were left in the cockpit for up to 7 hours as it was so difficult to get the actors in and out of the suspended cockpit in the volume. Number 8. Callum Turner, Austin Butler, and Nate Mann were taught by military pilots how to take off and land B-17s using flight simulators. They learned the use of every button and switch in the cockpit and were constantly tested by their supervisors on what to do in situations such as, "Your engine 3 is on fire." Number 9. Callum Turner, Austin Butler, and Nate Mann had a day where they specifically learned and practiced a step-by-step sequence of how to get into their seats in the B-17 cockpits. Because the cockpits were so narrow and cramped, the actors had to nail the exact way they got into the pilot seats and make it look second nature. Number 10. The B-17 Flying Fortress evolved through numerous design advances, becoming the 3rd most produced bomber of all time behind the 4-engine consolidated B-24 Liberator. Number 11. During filming, Callum Turner, Austin Butler, Nate Mann, and David Shields played a game that the real pilots played too. Rather than use the stairs to get up into the B-17 planes, they would race to see who could do a reverse pull-up from the ground and swing their bodies into the cockpit hatch the fastest. Number 12. With a budget of over $250 million, Masters of the Air is one of the most expensive TV series ever produced and was 10 years in the making. Initially, the miniseries was originally going to be made at HBO. Number 13. Austin Butler watched footage of the real-life Cleveland who was interviewed about his time as a bomber pilot when he was in his 80s. The footage helped Austin learn Cleveland's speaking cadence and sense of humor. And number 14. Austin Butler had just a week's break from completing Elvis to filming Masters of the Air. During production, he worked with a dialect coach to lose the Elvis accent.